Hello everybody, this is Reggie Patterson and welcome to today's workshop. In this workshop, we are going to be talking about creating great content and then multiplying that content. But before we get into that, I want to start off with this little story. I know a guy who has a big family and they always had a party at Christmas and New Year's. They were always getting together for birthdays and other special occasions. It was like they just kind of looked for reasons to get together and hang out with one another. And then his grandfather died, and that changed everything. It seemed like the dynamic of the family had changed, and everyone was fighting all the time over small things. The family grew apart into small factions and stopped communicating with each other. His grandfather was that glue that held things together. Nobody really knew it at the time either. I guess that's the thing about glue. You don't really notice it until it's not there anymore, and then you have a major problem. It was really sad, however, that really drove the point home to me that the glue is important. And businesses are a lot like families. They have glue as well. In online business, that glue is your content. It's the fuel that burns the engine. It's the stuff that holds everything together and gives you an identity. Without consistent and relevant content, it gets really hard to stay top of mind with your audience, and they go elsewhere for their solutions. So your business's glue is your content, and it's very important. And this week I want to talk more in depth about different ways to create great content for your audience. Even if you aren't very good at writing, don't feel creative, or have nothing to say. Your audience is the key. Your email list is the core, and your content is the glue. Now, when it comes to creating great content, never betray the golden rule. And that is, it's never about you. It's always about them. Even when it looks like it's about you, it's still going to circle back around to them. And all great content needs three things. It needs a hook, it needs some entertainment value, and then it needs something actionable that the readers or viewers can take away from it and apply to their own lives or businesses. The hook I'm talking about now, think of it like a subject line in an email. But in this case, you are not trying to get people to open an email, though. You are trying to get them to keep reading your post or keep watching your video. It's operating on the same basic principle, though. So refer to those psychological tactics for your hook, too. And to recap them for your convenience, here they are again. Curiosity. Use a subject line that invokes curiosity, as it always raises open rates. Educational. The promise of teaching your readers something they did not know. And fear. The third and final type of subject line that I have found to be incredibly effective for getting opens is simple fear. The idea that something is going to be taken away. Nobody wants things taken away from them. Okay, now the entertainment value I am speaking of comes in the form of a story. Either from your own life or something you are conveying from somewhere else, like a video you watched or a podcast you listened to. And then, of course, there is the actionable content. It's either a step-by-step walkthrough or some kind of lesson or takeaway. So that's great. You now have an excellent formula for how to create fantastic content, and it's basically the same formula I taught you about email marketing. What I want to teach you now is how to create that kind of content without trying so hard. And I have three words for you. Private label rights, otherwise known as PLR. This is content that you can buy or get for free that was written by someone else, but you buy the rights to use it. It's pretty awesome and it will save you a ton of time. There is a problem though, and I'll tell you what it is in a minute, but first let me tell you a couple of my favorite PLR sources. They are Content Sparks, Tools for Motivation, and Piggy Makes Bank. If you cannot afford anything right now, just do a Google search for free PLR and you will find some options. Now the problem. PLR is great for coming up with actionable content. You can find some really nice step-by-step instructional type reports and how-to guides, but they are not as great at the other two parts of the equation. You still need that hook, and you still need that entertainment value. For coming up with a great hook, what you can do is utilize a nice headline generator for quick ideas. And here are a few of my favorites if you want to screenshot these. Alright, so now you have a quick fix for actionable content and a great hook. But what about the story? What about the entertainment value? Use Google for this. Do simple searches on quick motivational or inspirational stories. Motivational and inspirational stories are universal in their appeal. Not only do people enjoy them, but these kind of stories can be woven into almost any kind of content. Another concept that works really well is famous quotes. You basically start with a famous quote and then speak a little bit about what it means and the person who said it, and then you segue that into your actionable content. For example, let's say you want to teach people how to blog for money and you have a 10-step guide to do that. I could do a simple Google search on quotes about doing what you like, and I'll pull up this interesting quote. Doing what you love is the cornerstone of having abundance in your life, by Wayne Dyer. So then I would go on to say something like this. Doing what you love is the cornerstone of having abundance in your life. Wayne Dyer said that, and he would know. He was an American self-help author and a motivational speaker. His first book, Your Erroneous Zones, is one of the best-selling books of all time, with an estimated 35 million copies sold to date. Can you imagine selling 35 million books? That's crazy to have so many people interested in what you have to say. Well, honestly, it's not that far-fetched. Thousands of people out there write simple blogs online every day for a living. That's all they do. I bet if you wanted to, you could do the same thing. In fact, I have written a 10-step guide to show you how to do just that. And then we go into the actionable content. So you can see how I very quickly found some actionable content, generated a hook around that content, and then told a simple, entertaining story about a famous person and brought that around to the actionable content. This kind of strategy can have you putting together great content every single day if you wanted to. It eliminates the need to be insanely creative or come up with fantastic ideas every day. And you can do this easily. It would be like some kind of parabolic content creation machine. Also, consider how effortless it would be to write a piece of content like the example I gave there about blogging, and then to pitch a more in-depth course on the subject. This is the kind of content that will get you real affiliate commissions and having people knowing, liking, and trusting you. Remember, hook, story, action, in any order, although generally the hook usually does go first. You want to start practicing creating content like this. See if you can't create a solid piece of content today using these simple tactics I have just shown you. Now let's start talking about multiplying that content. With amazing content, you stay top of mind. And what is that, you might ask? In marketing, it's top of mind awareness. TOMA refers to a brand or specific product being first in a customer's mind when thinking of a particular industry or category. Consider this. If I was thinking about buying a phone and asked you which one you think I should buy, you will probably recommend an Apple iPhone or a Samsung Galaxy. Why? They have amazing top-of-mind awareness. And how did those companies get that awareness? By advertising. They are both putting out fresh and unique advertising campaigns often, things that get people talking. They are masters at staying top of mind in the conversation of society. And you need to stay top of mind as well if you want to have sustainable success online. So how can you get it? The first step is by creating great content regularly, and we just talked about that. However, now we need to take this a step further. We need to maximize your content and spread it as far as it will go. Your article is great, but I want you to consider this. That piece of written content will do a different job wherever you put it. When you put that content on your blog, it will serve to organically filter traffic to your blog and hopefully onto your email list. This is lead acquisition. When you put that same article on Facebook as a simple text post, it will serve to build an audience around you on Facebook. Those people will begin to organically trickle over to your blog. This is audience building. And when you take that same article and make it into a simple slideshow, record a video narration of that slideshow, and post it as a video to YouTube with the same hook as a title, you are now building audience on YouTube. That YouTube audience is powerful, and when it hits your email list, it will be loyal. When you rip the audio from the video you recorded and publish that as a podcast episode on iTunes or SoundCloud or Spotify, you are now spreading that content to even more people and building your audience even further. That same piece of content can then be sent to your existing email list to help them and also pitch a like-minded product. Now that content is making you money. Same piece of content, but we have just compounded its reach. And that's really powerful because we know that audience is the key. Audience is the key, an email list is the core of the audience, and content is the glue. By investing in the reach of your content and putting it on multiple mediums and platforms, your content will begin to work for you in multiple ways, building you an audience, building your email list, and making you money. I call that content exploding, and it is an extremely powerful tactic. What if you only created one piece of content a week? On Monday, you created a great piece of content for your email list. On Tuesday, you posted it on Facebook as a simple text post in your profile and in 5 or 6 relevant Facebook groups. On Wednesday, you posted it to your blog. On Thursday, you made it into a video and posted it to YouTube. On Friday, you ripped the audio from the video and posted it to iTunes for your weekly podcast. That's a lot of activity, all spawned from just that one piece of content. And all roads lead back to your email list. Okay, I hope that you are getting excited with the possibilities now. These parabolic content creation formula tactics can change your entire online business. Okay, that's all for today. Are there any questions? Now, we do have some more awesome angles for you that will help you to easily create even more great content. And you can learn more about those at impc.ws/PWA. Also, don't forget to check out our e-learning academy, where you can get access to a ton of digital marketing training, our latest products, and lots of other resources. It's all part of our Digital Retirement Rebels Insiders Club, and you can see why I say that by going to impc.ws/14day. And if you haven't already, be sure to sign up for our email newsletter, and you can do that at IamProfitsCoach.com. Okay, everybody, I appreciate you hanging out with me. If you have any questions, feel free to get in touch with me and let me know. Please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification, and I will see you again next week. Take care.